our memories. We've also had some difficulty, personnel issues this year that were successfully navigated, and I know took a lot of your time, effort, and probably blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah, I had a heart attack.
Yeah, you had a heart attack. But without going into chapter and verse on all of that, I think you've done a heck of a job and continue to do a heck of a job, and I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
But you know Bob Martin.
Hey, that always helps.
It wouldn't be right if that name didn't come up at least once in a meeting.
We were running out of time.
I know Bev's got one comment on this. It's your turn.
Well, I can't speak very tonight, but I would like to see the Colonial Acres issue settled pretty soon, but
If I
we
may
need some more
just
meetings on that.
respond to that.
Doing a good
We've
job.
set up the dates and.
Trying.
I know, but we were, I mean,
Yeah, I
the
know.
attorney, the engineer, myself, we had our dates all set,
Yeah,
so it's put off, but it's in Colonial Acres' hands to give us some more dates.
I did, but they
More
weren't
than happy to.
acceptable, so we're still trying,
Okay.
but you are doing a good job.
Well, thank you very much, and we'll be glad to meet anytime.
Thank you.
Mr. Kramer.
Dave, I really have no complaints. As you know, from all my multiple phone calls at all hours of the day, I find that you're available 24/7. I've called you at 7:30 in the morning. I've called you at 9 o'clock at night. On my way home from work, I call you. If you're not available, I leave a message and you call me right back. I appreciate that. So we do have a city manager that is available 24/7. Saturday night, our city manager, along with Mr. Martin, we're cleaning up at the, following the Blue, what is it?
Bruce and
Yeah,
Mr. Hot Dogs.
Right, it's at 12 o'clock, we're downtown, and our city manager is picking up trash barrels, helping the Chamber of Commerce clean up. I mean, I can't tell you, I mean, I'd be amazed if you saw any other city managers of any cities actually helping clean up after a performance which benefits our town. And this is not the only time. I mean, I've been calling you a lot on this rec center, brainstorming. David is our point person in dealing with Lyon Township and Green Oak. Because of David's involvement, I have a really good working relationship now with Green Oak Township. I have a good relationship with Lyon Township. And I just find that whenever I have a question, I call. If I don't get the answer from you right away, you check into it, and I do get the call back. So I really appreciate the effort that you're spending in our city. I know you don't actually live in the city, but no, that's not a.
No, I
don't-
know,
that's-
I
that's
feel
not a-
bad about that.
It's just, it's a situation where I've seen you in the city helping out at more and more functions since I've been on city council over the last 3 years, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Aaron.
Okay. Those of you that know me, I am a Red Wing fan, and when I go to Red Wing games and people clap when they saved a goal, I'm not one of those people, because I believe that that's their job and they get paid millions to do it. Nobody needs to clap for them. So that's kind of what I feel with your evaluation. You come to work, you do your basic job. I'm not going to stroke your ego. There's other people on the council that took care of that for you. My main thing is that if I don't have, it's not complaints, but there's always room for improvement. And if you don't offer some constructive criticism, I don't think that I'm doing my job as a city council person. So I do have some constructive criticism, and my main thing is that I believe that you rely on the outside services too much. That the attorney, HRC, Bob, even though he's an inside service, a lot of times I call and ask you a question and you say, I need to check with so-and-so, I need to check with so-and-so, I need to check with so-and-so. I would like you to be able to answer more of the questions and be aware of more of what's happening in town, instead of always having to check with an outside service or your department heads. I mean, I know that you rely on them for a lot and everything like that, but I just like you to kind of know the answer. Maybe double check with them, but actually kind of know the answer. So that's my corrective criticism. I'd also like to add, I was reviewing your contract, and in the spirit of trying to minimize future payments out by the city, like with the union contracts and stuff that we're going through, and you're looking at, keeping some of our future costs down with their pensions and the way that they get paid out, and, MERS and all that stuff that we're going on. I was looking at your contract, and under termination, it says the employer agrees, however, in the event the manager's termination by affirmative vote of the city council, he will receive a 6-month pay and benefits in the effect commencing the date of his termination. I'd like to lower that month pay.
I'd rather raise that, actually.
Pardon?
I'd rather raise that. I'm not going to lower that.
Okay.
That's all I have, Aaron. For a manager to get another job takes probably at least 9 months to a year. 6 months is actually on the low side for managers.
Okay, well, I guess there's no compromise on your part.
No,
Is there any
is my
compromise on your
livelihood.
contract?
I guess I'd like to sit down and talk about it if you want, but I'd rather do that in a different setting.
Okay.
I'm
I
not
just
gonna
think
discuss that
you're
now.
asking other people in the city to compromise, and I think you should make some compromise too, whether
I
it's
do
in.
make those same compromises, Aaron. When our insurance gets lowered, my insurance gets lowered.
I agree.
But I don't come to it from that perspective. I come from it from the manager's perspective. I never take into consideration my personal feelings or what it's going to do to my livelihood. I can't. So, no, I'm not willing to reduce that, not at all.
Fair enough. I'm done.
Okay, thanks. A lot of my area is in communication. I'd say easily 50% of the time that we have a council meeting, I ask for a manager's report, and you really have nothing to report. And I don't care if you got to make up that the circus is coming to town next month or something, anything. I think you should be having something for the community to hear what's going on.
Actually, it is coming to town next month. I
And
guess
let me,
okay.
again, easily half the time you don't have any comment to make. I mean, from 2 week to 3 periods in between, it seems to me there'd be something that you'd like to share with the community certainly by our local TV, and maybe the paper will pick up on it too. Again, I also have the concerns about the Colonial Acre issue, and it sounds like things are lining up finally on that, and that's good. As far as staff that you work with within the offices, I think you need to, if you got an issue with somebody, maybe take them into your office and talk to them about it versus public dressing downs. And again, it was mentioned about we have to address the retirement problems down the road, and I think you are trying to work on that. And I've stated before, if nothing else, I wish you lived in the school district, if not in the city. It just makes you feel more part of us, I think. And seeking grants, we hope that we can come across some more grants. And with that, I just hope that, like I say, it all comes down to communication, keeping the communications up. You do answer my calls. You get back to my calls. I appreciate that. I find you're willing to listen on certain things that you may not agree to, but you're willing to listen, and I think that's a huge benefit to us. You're willing to listen to us out, and again, that's a very big positive. And I think you mesh well with, I've been to official meetings, and you and I have been to many meetings together and so forth. You represent us very well there. And So you certainly have some merit to your job, and your job is thankless. You are the boss. The boss is not well liked usually. It's just the way it is in society. And, but again, I think a little more communication, things can help a little bit.
I will work on that.
Okay. And that's the end of the evaluation. Now, we need a manager's report.
Oh, I've got nothing. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I wanted to let you know that there was an article in the paper the other day about the intersection closing for like 6 weeks, it said. That's not quite correct. There will be intermittent lane closures. It may close down for a few days. I'll have much better information tomorrow after our progress meeting, and I have set up a meeting for the business owners or anyone who lives in the downtown or anybody who cares about the downtown and that intersection closing for 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So if you know of anybody, I've tried to go around to the businesses downtown. I've had them put it on Facebook, told them to tell their friends. The press is supposed to be there, so hopefully they'll get something out in the paper once we have a better schedule and a handle on it. It looks right now, it should be, the actual work being done will be done around August 22nd through September 6th, but I think just Pontiac Trail will be closed. But again, I don't have all the final details, so I have to consult with the consultants and the contractors, and I will get better information tomorrow afternoon.
By press, do you mean the Herald?
Yes.
Okay. Just the way you said press, I just wanted to clarify that.
Maybe New York Times.
I thought, yeah, I thought Wall Street was coming.
That's all I have, so thank you.
Okay, thank you. Council comments, Harvey.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just quickly, I had a lot of fun in town this last weekend, Friday at the concert in the park, and Saturday at the Blues Brews and hot dogs.
Yeah,
That was too bad about that, but the music was good, the company was good. I saw a lot of folks I knew, and everybody had a smile on their face, so good for us, good for the chamber, and that's all I had, thanks.
Okay, thank you. Mike?
The rec center, again, the two firms that were selected are going to be presenting their pitch to the South Lyon Rec Authority on Wednesday, July 24th at 2 p.m. That will take place in Green Oak Township. And the idea is sometime in August, probably not the first meeting in August, but the second council meeting in August, we're going to take our traveling roadshow to the various boards, Green Oak, Green Oak, Lyon Township, and South Lyon, but I'm hoping that we can get on the agenda for the second meeting in August so we can give an update to my council as far as what's going on, as far as the conceptual design, the firm that was selected, and the next steps that we're planning on taking. Thank you.
Are we still approaching Salem Township?
No,
No?
no,
Have they given you a defined answer?
nope. So.
An answer.
That's an answer. We are getting to the point now where it's a little too late.
Not to decide is to decide.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I hope they would at least contact us, but as of today's date, they have not. So, thank you.
Bev?
I just want to say I liked the Blues, whatever that was. It was
She
great.
lost her
It was
voice
nice.
screaming at the rock and roll band.
Yeah, to see all the people out in town enjoying themselves.
I saw you managed to walk out of there, so you did
I
well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, Joe?
Yeah, just a question for Mr. Murphy. I'm not exactly clear on the DWRF progress. Are they behind? Because I'm getting conflicting information. Or is it on track? Or if they're behind, how far behind? What's the
No,
status?
actually, they're quite a bit ahead of schedule.
Okay.
We didn't expect it to finish until next year, and they'll probably finish up this fall.
Okay,
We're
so-
80% complete.
So
I don't
they're
know
way ahead of
where you
schedule.
heard that, but we're way ahead.
No, just based off the article from the Herald, that it's wanted to get it cleared up.
Yeah, no, they're much further ahead than we expected.
From the press?
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
they are.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Aaron?
Well, I felt like Harvey was stalking me this weekend because I saw him everywhere I went in town. So I was at the concert in the park on Friday. Really, that was a good one. That was a good one. Nice, nice selection. You're doing a good job. And I enjoyed the brews and the brews. And I'm going to leave it at that.
Well, the IGA sold a lot of brats.
For people that had a taste for 'em.
Yeah. Glenn?
I saw the concert in the park too on Friday night. I enjoyed that. We had the benefit of we caught a break with the weather. It boomed around us, but it went around us, so. The issue with the Porta-John and the cemetery, now with it having been, when this was proposed, the principal argument had been to be able to be a benefit to the people that were, trying to go to the cemetery to pay the respects or whatever, and now it's morphed into being a restroom for the people that are gardening in the park. And I just don't think that it's appropriate that we're spending a monthly allotment of whatever the rental fee is for, 20 people, I think it is, that live in town that are farming in the cemetery. So I personally would either like it to be moved towards where the maintenance buildings are. Those are the oldest grave sites in the whole place, so their heirs are typically not going to spend an awful lot of time down in the
All the more-
cemetery that they
if I
would.
can-
Excuse me, it's my
I
turn.
will, sure, I will answer it in a minute
The,
then.
that area is trafficked a little bit less with more contemporary and current people, but, yeah, I just don't, if we're not going to do something like that, then I would just as soon see the thing pulled out of there.
Okay, anything else?
No, that's true.
I'll follow right on that. It's actually more beneficial where it is at because the newest graves with the people that all still have their relatives alive are down in that area, and it's really more beneficial to that side of the cemetery itself. So I think it worked out to a positive. Okay, and also, I have to put out requests. I need volunteers. We need people to become part of the Historic Commission. I need a Planning Commission person. I need people to apply, and to do that, you come to City Hall, or you can do it online and send an application in, but we need some people to volunteer if they can, because it certainly is a volunteer job. But on the Historic Commission side of it, it does not have to be a city resident, but Planning Commission, it does have to be a city resident. And the Historic Society would like very much to have some people join them as well, as they're down to a handful of people. I think Carl alluded to that. They've got depot days coming up. They're very short on manpower. And it's really a fun thing if you've been to our Witch's Hat Museum in the village itself and how important it is to our community. We hope we can get some more volunteers to join in because age has taken hold of some of our prominent workers there. In the DWRF, I had a personal experience. I thought I had an oil well for a moment. I had a geyser come up in my yard, but it was brown and I knew it wasn't oil. So it was just some of the things that people have to deal with when they were pushing those water lines through. So that I got an extra hole in my yard, by the way, for that one, because they had to dig down and take care of that one. But hopefully to get the connections done on that. It's been almost a month now since they've been down, particularly in my block. And I know you say you're ahead of schedule, so it sounds promising to me.
I was asked today by a citizen if they get a little note in their box that says water will be shut off on this day, and nobody ever comes and nobody shuts off the water. Do they just assume their water's shut off every day? Like, how does that work?
We have an observant engineer on job, and he would adjust that by going up and knocking on a door or reissuing a new flyer.
Okay, so they're to assume that they're gonna have water until they get a knocker out flyer?
And, you know, with the rain that has occurred over the last 2 weeks, it throws some, and then we had a couple water main breaks that pulled a lot of people from over here to over here, so things happen along the way, but we're approaching 80% completion on this job. We're almost through the worst part.
Yeah, I was asked, and I just
Yeah.
wanted to know how to address it properly.
Financial are gonna be tough.
Was
but
on that subject, so.
Once it's pulled, what Ted was speaking of, tying in individual homes, that's not dangerous work. That's not work that's gonna break future mains or sewer leads. That's just individual ties to home. That's good stuff.
Sorry, I just thought I'd jump
It
on well.
was
It was
on
under,
that same subject, it
Yep.
was all right. And with that, I'd call for an adjournment.
Oh, I'd like to actually ask a question on that as well. All the restoration that's taking place now that the lines are pulled, you're still going to end up having to excavate to be able to make your taps to tie the curb stops into the new line, right?
Yeah, but we're doing that. Any block that you see sidewalks put in or patches on the road done, that's been done there.
Okay, all those
So
taps are already
that street
tied.
is done and we're moving on.
Beautiful.
what
Okay.
happens when the patches sink? Like, are they gonna be repatched like the asphalt with our rain and our weather and everything we've had? Those asphalt ones are gonna just sink.
No, they're not gonna sink. I mean, we'll come back and deal with it. you know?
Okay.
Well, the
If
yards,
they
though, I
do-
mean, they're not compacting around
And
those
everywhere,
curb stops,
you
so.
know?
Yeah, but the roads, the roads are
I
pretty
know.
beat up.
Yeah, you're right, you're right.
But
I
if
mean,
those patches sink, then they have to redo them.
That's what I wanted to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to know.
Yeah.
Because some of them got laid when it was
There
pretty
is money
rainy.
put in this job to not only make that repair, but to make sure that that repair lasts for a long period of time. So the final payoff to these people is not gonna be completed till lawn is reestablished, sidewalks are done, streets are repaired to the level that we feel it's acceptable.
Okay.
I make the motion, we adjourn.
I'll second.
Further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That ends this meeting of 1 hour and 25 minutes for our TV audience.